Welcome back, everyone. It's Jim Hamill with Pocono Mountains Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 25, Police in the Poconos. Our region is made up of 4 counties, plenty of boroughs and townships as well, homeowners associations, and miles of roads. That's a lot of territory to cover, and public safety is always a big part of making living here or visiting here a great experience. Various police departments serve our Pocono communities across the region. Some are dedicated to just one community, some are regional forces. And lately, the need for women and men to wear the uniform and patrol the Poconos has grown greater. We'll listen in on a conversation with Chris Barrett and local law enforcement from the upcoming Pocono Mountains magazine for November in just a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, with 2,400 square miles of forests, rivers, lakes, and mountains, with iconic family resorts and historic downtowns. It's the perfect getaway. You can always find out more on PoconoMountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. We'll have a new episode each week highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience while you're visiting the Poconos. Subscribe and leave a review and or comment on whatever platform you listen. Now back to the episode. When you think about a destination like the Poconos, you think of the outdoors, the exciting adventures at Pocono Raceway or along the Lehigh River, but perhaps an afterthought is the first responders who are there when the call goes out for help. Among them are career police officers who serve their communities around the clock. And as this panel segment will explain, there's a need for more officers to join the ranks.
Hi everyone, you're back. You're watching the Pocono Television Network, and I'm Chris Barrett. This is a part of the program where we talk to folks locally here in the Pocono Mountains. And one of the things that we've always asked questions about, and well, we've really assumed, is that every time there's an emergency in a community, we have folks who are dedicated to responding to those emergencies. First responders, we know that everything that happened during the pandemic, if it wasn't for those folks, our life would have been much harder for that year of lockdown. So we're really honored today to have some of those first responders, police officers, who are the backbone of the Pocono Mountains community. We're going to talk to them a little bit about what it's like to be a police officer here in the Pocono Mountains. So who we have with us to my left is Chief Chris Wagner from the Pocono Mountain Regional Police. To my extreme left is Acting Sergeant Eric Rath from Pocono Township. And to my right is Captain Scott Raymond from Stroud Area Regional. So gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
So Chief, I want to talk to you first. Why did you become a police officer?
So I think, Chris, I went through a lot of soul searching, I guess, like kids do these days, where I was in college, didn't really have a direction, didn't know where I wanted to go, flirted with different majors, and I know a lot of kids go through that. Eventually I started to kind of find my way, and I started to think military and moving in that direction. Again, it was personality based, and my plans started to become coming out of the military and then going into law enforcement. At the time, law enforcement academies had a long wait. You were hearing anywhere from 2 to 3 years waiting time to get into a police academy. Just so happened I had a family friend that said, "Hey, I can get you in the next class." And that was kind of unheard of. Do I take that opportunity? And I decided, I'm not going to pass that up. And before I knew it just happened so fast. I was in the police academy, didn't end up going in the military, and kind of here I am.
So throughout your career, I assume you started on the street as an officer.
Right.
So now you're a chief. So how many years have you been a police officer?
Over 28 now.
And what has driven you through that 28 years? What have you liked the most about it?
Just a passion for the job. It's not the same thing every day.
So it's really serving the community, kind of servant leadership and all those types of things.
Yeah, it really is. Again, just the dynamics of the job, serving the community, really bringing, I always found it interesting to bring justice to victims.
And we're going to come back to you, Chief, but Eric, if I could turn to you, how about you? How long have you been a police officer and why?
Been doing the job 12 years. It was kind of singular focus for me. I kind of knew what I wanted to do from high school on. My grandfather was a police officer, so I kind of looked up to him and idolized him. You know, I'm a high school and college athlete. You know, my favorite part of this job is the team aspect of it. You know, we're all brothers and sisters every day that you go to work, and you have to work as a team to, you know, accomplish the goals. And like Chief said, they're different every day, and they're ever changing. But if you stay together, work as a team, you know, you're going to be successful as a department. That's kind of athletics to law enforcement. They really relate. You know, you strap up a helmet and tie up your cleats, strap up your vest, and put your gun belt on. They relate to each other, and you have a lot of the same mentality with the officers that you work with.
So you always knew from a young age that you wanted to be a police officer?
Correct. When you're little and, you know, you're watching movies and stuff, but once you hit high school and you're starting to think about which colleges you want to go to, which, you know, professions, there's really only one for me, which was law enforcement.
So the day that you received your badge, do you remember that day? And the first day you worked the street, do you remember that?
I do. Yeah, it was a proud moment. Chief Wagner was actually there for it. I love it. You know, I'm in my 11th year at Pocono Township, and every day I go in, I love my job, and that's big for me. You know, we deal with a lot of different things, a lot of stressful situations, and loving the job and the people that you work with makes it a lot easier to handle those situations.
So what shift do you work?
So I am in the acting sergeant's position now, so I float around a little bit. Our department just recently switched to 12-hour shifts. Gives our guys about 80 days off a year more. So that's a big tool for us with our officers, is giving them more time to spend with their families and relax and reset to come in and be able to do this job efficiently and effectively every day.
So Scott, if I could, we're going to come back, Eric, but Scott, if I could bring you in on this, why did you become a police officer?
Actually, my uncle was a deputy inspector out in Nassau County, Long Island, and we got together with them about once every 3-4 months, and he would tell me all sorts of different exciting stories about some of his apprehensions over the years, and really just enjoyed listening to the stories about him basically getting the bad guy off the street and justice for the victims, as Chief Wagner had stated earlier. It was something that was, you know, from listening to him, different every day when he went out on the road, and had some excitement. And just listening to that, I mean, actually, I originally wanted to be a landscaper. I wanted to just go cut grass and build landscaping walls. But the change up of the things that he did every day and the stability of the profession is why I ended up moving towards that in college.
And how long have you been a police officer now?
This is my second department. I was part-time up in Matamoros, up in Pike County, for 2 years, and then got hired here, and I have 26 years in.
So I know the chief and the sergeant, but as a captain, what are your duties as a captain?
So we're going through a transition right now where I'm actually doing a lot of different duties, from hiring and recruiting to being in charge of the patrol division, making sure that the officers have what they need on a daily basis.
So just another question for all of you, and Chief, I'll give this one to you. Why should someone pursue the career of a police officer, in your opinion?
I really think it's personality driven. You need to have the right personality. You know, again, what I see in a lot of the interviews is, you know, the personalities that we attract are those who really care about the community and really want to serve. They sometimes come from a law enforcement family. It's just like any other career, you know, a lot of times if, you know, you have carpenters in your family or you have bankers or whatever the case may be, the children follow suit. And we see a little bit of that, but then we also see, you know, those who are kind of cutting it on their own, where, you know, maybe their father was in a different career, their mother was in a different career. They decided they're going to be a first-generation law enforcement officer. And again, you know, we really see that just overall desire to serve the community. We see the personalities that, you know, don't necessarily want to sit in an office all day. They don't want the routine of day in and day out, and that's what you find in law enforcement.
And really, you hear a lot of times, you know, the negative stories, but we hear so much more the positive stories about people really having a care for the community they want to give back. And Eric, why would you tell somebody to be a police officer?
It follows the same line as Chief. Is, you know, if you want to serve the community, what, you know, both of them said prior about victims and, you know, providing justice to them. Those are huge key factors. And then I always fall back to the competitive side of it. You know, you're constantly engaging and learning and dealing with different situations. I think that's a big attribute that new officers, when they come in and they have that competitive side to them, they seem to excel quicker and earlier. And that's, you know, what it falls back to for me is, you know, a lot of military, you know, a lot of prior law enforcement families, you know, those are the guys that come in and are competitive and excel and want to do the job and want to serve the community.
So Scott, Eric mentioned learning, and I think that's interesting. Is there a lot of training that's ongoing all the time for you and your officers?
Yeah, training is constant. Initially, you have the police academy that you would enter, and that's about a 6-month program. And then from there, when the department hires you, generally most departments have a field training program. And that's about 3 to 4 months, 12 to 16 weeks, give or take. And that process is taking what you've learned in the police academy and using it in the field. When you're in the police academy, you learn about the vehicle code and the crimes code and traffic violations that you will encounter later on. But you don't know how to process that information until you actually go out in the field. And, you know, the first day when you pull over a car, and you say to your field training officer, I don't know what section to write this under. You know, those are all the things that you learn early on, so that when you are on your own, you have the resources that you can build upon to be able to go out and fulfill your duties.
You know, and I think you're human beings. You know, you're coming at the position that you want to serve the public. So I always wanted to find out in your recruitment efforts, and Chief, I'll go with you first. What do you look for in your recruiting efforts? And I know some of you are just saying you're going through that right now.
Right.
So what do you look for in a candidate?
We go through, obviously, all the background requirements, foundational educational requirements. So, of course, we're going to look for, you know, high school diploma, college degree. Are they a military veteran? Do they have their Act 120, which is the police academy? So you can put yourself through the police academy. We look for those things as a foundation, and those, you know, obviously give you the edge against the competitors that are coming through the interview with you. But at the end of the day, I think what we look for after all those educational and background requirements are laid is good personality and good character. You know, I always say that if you can come into an interview and make me smile, you're probably going to get a job. You know, so again, everybody kind of comes in with those same or very similar educational backgrounds, life experiences, those things. But it's that electric personality that's going to win you the day, and I think that's what I look for, you know, coming out of the interviews as to, you know, whose name I'm going to check, I guess.
Well, this has been great. I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have about 2 minutes, and I have to wrap this up, believe it or not, because it's gone so fast. And one of the things we do want to tell everybody is we will be posting at PoconoMountains.com/jobs any opportunities that these departments and others in the Pocono Mountains have. But if I could just wrap one thing, and Eric, I'm going to go with you first, I think. What's one thing you would want everybody to know about being a police officer?
First thing would be, you know, we take the uniform off. We're just regular people like you. We put the uniform on. We're those same people. You know, we might have to deal with people in situations that are usually their worst. But we're here to serve. You know, we're here to serve. We're here to protect. And we're here for the citizens. And you know, sometimes I feel like that gets forgotten, but that's our message. You know, we're here for you. We're here to serve you. We're here to protect you when you need us. You know, and that's our department. It's kind of our motto. You know, we're here for the victims, and we're going to run in when everybody else is running out. And I feel like most people know that, but sometimes it gets lost in the message today. But that's our biggest message: is we're here to serve for you.
Scott.
Honestly, couldn't answer that any better than he just did. I mean, you know, for being in a profession for 27 years, it's been all about, you know, trying to deal with the public and to work with the public. And like I said, you take the uniform off, you know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a community member. I live in the area that I serve. I want the best for what's in the community. And I think when you're a police officer, that is part of your philosophy daily.
Well, everybody, this has been a great time that we've spent with three of our heroes here in the Pocono Mountains. When the 30 million folks visit us yearly, you can be rest assured that you're well watched over by these folks and the teams that serve with them.
Police in the Poconos, just one of the many facets of our region that helps both residents and visitors remain safe and respond in times of need. Thanks to them for their service, and if you want to learn more about a career in policing, reach out to a municipality in the Poconos to find out what opportunities exist.
The reason you'd want to have a hospitality job like this is the ability to interact with so many different people and to create an amazing experience for them every day.
The cool part about working at the Poconos is you get to play where you work. So it's a ton of fun, it's good money, lots to do.
This mountain doubles as a great place to learn, but also a beautiful community to work in, make friends. Great jobs are available now. Go to PoconoMountains.com/jobs.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. Speaking of caring for our Poconos region, an update on the litter cleanup efforts of the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau from Brianna Strunk. Enjoy.
Trash is not just unsightly, it's bad for the environment. Did you know more than 25,000 bags of trash have been picked up and properly disposed of through the Pick Up the Poconos campaign? Here are 3 ways the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau and its partners work to keep our communities clean and green. Ira Hayes found himself homeless in the middle of winter and lived in his car for months.
It was terrible. That was the first time for me, but I didn't like it.
At one point, Melissa Ramirez also lived in a car, then a tent, then a shelter.
You take it day by day. That's it. That's all you can do.
Ira and Melissa got connected to Pocono Community Caring Company, or Pocono 3C. The program employs individuals who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless to clean litter several times a week from Monroe County roads. It gives participants a chance to get back on their feet, since they often face difficulty finding work without having an ID, address, or bank account, or because of a minor criminal record. At the end of each shift, employees receive a $50 gift card so they can instantly buy the necessities to survive. No waiting for a paycheck.
Don't give up. Don't give up. No matter how bad it is, there are people that will help you.
Since Pocono 3C's inception in June 2019, nearly 30 participants have secured permanent housing, a vehicle, or full-time employment. Ira has moved out of his car and into his very own apartment while continuing to work for Pocono 3C.
It's rewarding to see, people stop sometimes and say thank you. So it's awesome. I like it.
The Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau also partners with Adopt a Highway Litter Removal Services of America to regularly clean major gateways to the Pocono Mountains. That includes Interstates 80 and 380, plus Route 33.
I think we've all heard the stories of plastic in oceans, but look at plastic in our streams. We have some of the best freshwater fishing in the United States, biking and hiking, whitewater rafting. We want all of our waterways and our forests to be as clean and green as possible.
The Pick Up the Poconos campaign also includes volunteer-driven Pick Up the Poconos Days. Twice a year, in spring then fall, community members sign up to clean designated roads, rivers, trails, and parks throughout the 4-county region.
Just cleaning up the neighborhood, lots of litter out here, trying to do something good.
It doesn't show good for us as a community to leave it like that, so I'm glad to do it.
Since first starting in 2018, Pick Up the Poconos Days have grown to include hundreds of volunteers. Individuals, families, organizations, schools, businesses, and resorts all participate, including Jack Frost's Big Boulder, Camelback Resort, and East Stroudsburg University.
We're all a part of the same community, whether you go to ESU or not, or you live in the area, we're all just trying to make this place a better place.
Tackling trash? It's a community effort. For ways on how to pick up the Poconos and leave no trace, head to pickupthepoconos.com. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Policing the Poconos and picking up the Poconos. Two important ways this region is made better each and every day. Thank you so much for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. Please remember to subscribe anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.